It's my pleasure to introduce our superintendent, Dr. James Saruta, who would like to address you all.
Good evening, folks. It's my pleasure to be here this evening and to welcome you all to Northern Burlington's very special evening, our senior awards ceremony. My welcome comes on behalf of the Board of Education. You have a group of folks from the 4 different municipalities that work really hard every day. I see a couple of board members in the audience. They don't like it when I do this, but I will do it. I see Jim Specker. I'll ask him to stand and be recognized from Springfield. Are there any other board members here this evening? I should put my glasses on. You have to admit to it as well. Okay, and honestly, on behalf of the board, on behalf of the administration, on behalf of the faculty, these folks do a lot of great work. They often go unrecognized, so I think it's important that I recognize them as well. I want to welcome you. I want to welcome our administrators, our faculty, Dr. Lopez. Northern Burlington, as you know, services the Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst. I also think it's important that we take a moment at events like this and we ask our active military in the audience, we ask our retired military and our first responders that are with us tonight to please stand and be recognized and give us the opportunity to thank you for all that you do. So please stand. It's evenings like this that we celebrate all that's right at Northern Burlington. And we focus on these young men and women, our seniors, our class of 2018, and we take a moment to recognize all their accomplishments. These students are not only smart, but they're citizens of good character. And I honestly believe the idea of being citizens of good character is the defining issue of our time now. I will have a message for them at graduation. Tonight's not my night for messages. Tonight's the night to recognize these folks. But I want to thank you for the character that you bring to our school every day. It really makes Northern Burlington a great place to work. Thank you. And parents, be proud. Faculty and administrators, we are proud. I'm very proud of you all, and I'm very appreciative of having the opportunity to have even just a small part to play in your high school experience. So tonight I'll ask all to pause, relax, and enjoy the evening. Seniors, you know you have my best wishes. Enjoy the evening.
Before we begin with the ceremony, I want to share some logistics for the evening. The presenters will come up on this side of the stage, and the recipients will come up on this side of the stage. At the end, you're going to pause for a brief photo, okay? Give the opportunity for the photographer and for your parents to take a photo. As soon as your name is called, please come up. As soon as you hear your name. And at this time, please silence all cell phones, okay? So we'd like to start the evening. We're going to be bringing Dr. Saruta back up because he has a scholarship this evening. The Dr. James Saruta Air Force Junior ROTC Scholarship.
So there's evidence that I don't put the program together right there. But I see that I'm first up, so that's great. It's an honor that I have the opportunity to give this scholarship tonight. I've been working on bringing the ROTC program to Northern Burlington for over 20 years. Suffice it to say, it was a hard get. When I received notice that Northern Burlington was going to be awarded the Junior ROTC Unit NJ 2017-1, I was thrilled for NB Nation, its students, and the entire community. Air Force ROTC is a program offered in schools across the country and prepares young men and women to become leaders in their respective communities and citizens of good character. My wife Alexis and I were talking about ways to give back to Northern Burlington, and this scholarship just made perfect sense. So Gabrielle Kenny, please come to the stage. We created this scholarship inspired by my in-laws, both members of the greatest generation. Stan Grabowski, a technical sergeant in the 101st Airborne, served in World War II at the Battle of the Bulge. It was there he earned a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. And his wife, Catherine, who served in the Philadelphia Navy Yard during the Second World War, was a true Rosie the Riveter. So I'm pleased to give the first Air Force JROTC Scholarship to Cadet Major Gabrielle Kenny. Gab was named Squadron Commander and has led the Corps staff in NJ 2017-1 for the duration of the school year. Gab is a straight-A student, a member of the National Honor Society, and interested in the study of agricultural and environmental sciences. She allows me to call her Gab, by the way. Gab has also been named the Outstanding Cadet of the Year. Gab, you have made your parents, family, and me and NB Nation very proud. It's my sincere pleasure to recognize you with this scholarship. I wish you the best of luck as you continue your studies next year at the University of Georgia. Congratulations.
Our next presenter is Ms. Donna Hawley, who will announce the NBC Bus Drivers Association Scholarship.
My scholarship is going to Travis Green.
Next, I'd like to call up Mr. Dick Isaacson for the Major Thomas B. McGuire Jr. Memorial Foundation Scholarship.
Good evening. The Major Thomas B. McGuire Jr. Memorial Foundation has been serving the active duty force and its dependents for the last 35 years. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure to present a $1,000 scholarship to Thomas Perry III.
Our next presenter is Mr. Robert Ross, who will present the Claire Ross Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. The Claire Ross Memorial Scholarship is in memory of my wife, Claire, who was a dedicated and caring teacher for over 25 years. We award this scholarship annually to a student who will be studying education and pursuing a teaching career. We hope this year's recipient will find teaching as rewarding a career as Claire did. And this year's recipient is Charles Hermiston.
Our next presenters are Mr. William Lucas and Ms. Kim Lucas, presenting the Devin Lucas Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. Tonight is the 10th year my wife and I have presented the Devin Lucas Memorial Scholarship Award to a deserving Northern Burlington student. We give this $3,000 award to help students make their dreams come true. This is no longer possible for our son, but we hope to help others in his memory. To all the various award recipients sitting out there tonight, I ask that you look around at all the people in the audience who have helped you and continue to help you achieve your dreams. Your parents, your grandparents, even your siblings, your teachers, and those presenting the awards tonight. And I ask you to take the time to say thank you to all those who have helped you. Most of all, say thank you to your parents, who love you more than you can imagine. And now tonight, the person who we have chosen to help realize her dream of becoming a nurse through study at Longwood University in Virginia is Ashley Yetchev.
Our next presenter is Mr. Ken Tonko, presenting the 4 Seasons at Mapleton Civic Association Scholarship.
Good evening. I'm happy to be here and proud to present a scholarship of $700 from the 4 Seasons and Mapleton Civic Association to Amna Ahmed.
Our next presenter is Mr. Marvin Zavaloff, presenting the American Legion Post 26 Leadership and Citizenship Scholarship.
Good evening. As a representative of the American Legion Urban V. Hamilton Post 26 in Bordentown, it is my pleasure to present these school awards to these fine students. This award is the highest honor given to American youth by the American Legion. It is an award that proclaims to the world that you are the kind of American that we, the comrades of men and women who have given their lives in battle, believe to be worthy of this honor. There are 6 principles upon which these awards are made, and they are courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service. It is our wish that wherever you go and whatever you choose to do, you will always be guided by these principles and be prepared for the duties, responsibilities, and the rights and privileges of American citizenship. The award goes to William Mesa, who couldn't be here tonight, and Cassidy Page Marlowe.
Our next presenter is Mrs. Patricia Sepsi from the Springfield Township Education Association.
Good evening. As Sally said, my name is Patricia Sepsi, and I am a 6th grade teacher at Springfield Township School. And it's always a pleasure to be here at Northern and see all of our former students and be able to present one of them with our Springfield Township Education Association Scholarship. We present this every year to a deserving senior who is also a graduate of Springfield Township Elementary School. We never know who the recipient is until Northern notifies us. And I decided to look the student up in our 2012-2013 6th grade yearbook. This student's career aspirations when they were in 6th grade was to either become a baker or a fashion designer. And a few of her funniest moments in 6th grade were when she spilled her nachos on her best friend the first day of school. And then she was talking so much in school that her teacher had to sit on her. So I'm not sure if this jogged a few memories for her, but we are absolutely thrilled to present our scholarship to an outstanding young lady who will undoubtedly have a shining future. The 2018 STA scholarship goes to Miss Jenna Ricciani.
Our next presenter is Mr. Dalpa Patel, presenting the Devaben and Shudabai Patel Memorial Scholarship, highest score in science and mathematics.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm presenting 2 awards to memory of my father and mother. My father was a school teacher and a farmer, coming from the same small town like Columbus. My family moved in Columbus 47 years ago. July 1st will be 48. So all my children, my nephew, nieces, and cousin children, they went through the Northern Burlington, one of the greatest schools in our area. Most of my children, grandchildren, children and cousins, they are doing well in the world. They are in every category and on the top of the list. As Dr. Saluda said, they are the leaders. This award, in memory of my father and mother, we are giving over 25 years to the Northern Maths and Sciences higher school student. This year, the award will go to Vedant Srikant Dokte. The fourth award goes to him. So he is doing well in maths and science. Now, just another thing, the Vedant means knowledge of everything in Hindu culture. Realizing, knowing everything in Ved, that is the Hindu Holy Bible. And also he has the knowledge of all kind of activity outside and everything. So Vedant is going through where? Princeton University is going to Princeton University.
Our next presenter is SFC Army Kevin Bumgardner, presenting the U.S. Army Reserve Athlete Awards.
The two students whom the Army Reserve honors this year have achieved the winning combination excellence both in academics and athletics. They have achieved a balance that many people aspire to, but only a handful achieve. I'm happy to be here to give these students special recognition for their accomplishments. I'm proud to have the opportunity to honor two of the nation's finest young people right here at Northern Burlington High School. Let's give a round of applause to this year's Army Reserve National Scholar Athletes, Jamie Specka and Zachary Wow.
Our next presenter is Ms. Stephanie Anderson, presenting the JBMDL Spouses Club Scholarship.
Good evening. I'm Stephanie Anderson. I'm the president of the JBMDL Spouses Club. We are a professional nonprofit organization on JBMDL that's aimed at improving morale and welfare of military spouses stationed and assigned to Joint Base McGuire and Lakehurst. In addition to our monthly socials and our sub-clubs, we also run a thrift shop on base. Through the sacrifices of our volunteers at our thrift shop and our the success of our annual Trivia Night fundraiser, we were able to provide $20,000 in scholarships this year to military spouses, military children who are continuing their college education, and of course our high school seniors who are military dependents. This year we had two recipients from Northern Burlington High School, and they were Hannah Marshall and Ashlyn Nepchek.
Our next presenter is Ms. Catherine Gangars from the Jacobstown Volunteer Fire Company Auxiliary.
Hello. The Jacobstown Volunteer Fire Company Auxiliary Award is based on community service. As you know, our communities don't survive just on tax dollars. They survive on the people that exist in the community and make it great. So I'm asking all you seniors to remember where you come from, and when you're done with school or whatever, come back and help your communities, because nobody can do it alone. Tax dollars can't do it alone. It takes the heart of people. And I'd like to present this year's award goes to Tyler Hines.
Our next presenters are Ms. Jennifer Quinlan and Ms. Patty Jacobson of the NBC Band Booster Association Marching Unit Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. The Northern Burlington Band Boosters are fortunate to be able to present 4 awards tonight, 2 under the headings of Marching Unit Scholarships and 2 under the heading of Band Booster Scholarships. 2 are just presented to students within the marching unit, and the other 2 are for all of the music, instrumental music programs here. Okay, our first one goes to Christina Trespasses. Our second award is presented to Emma Landis.
And Emily Bartlett. And Danny Gonzalez.
Our next presenter is Mr. Ryan Collins for the William K. McDaniel Memorial Scholarship.
Good evening. Well, seniors, you did it. How's it feel? There you go. I'm going to leave you with just a few simple words of advice. Dreams do come true. The only barriers you have are the ones you put around yourselves. So, to continue with the night, on behalf of myself and my brethren from Pemberton Pyramid Lodge number 92 of Free and Accepted Masons, Isabella Alaman, please come up. Isabella, I present you with the William K. McDaniel Memorial Scholarship.
Our next presenter is Mr. Dale Marshall, presenting the North Hanover Township Education Association Scholarship.
Good evening. On behalf of North Hanover Township Education Association and our 180 members, it's my pleasure to give this award to Madison Comiskey.
Ms. Nancy Morrow is our next presenter, presenting the North Hanover Township Senior Citizen Scholarship.
Good evening. It's my pleasure tonight to present this scholarship on behalf of the North Hanover Seniors Citizens. We received donations from our club members and also received several this year in memory of one of our members who had passed away, Carlton Golden. We specify that the scholarship go to a student who went to the North Hanover elementary schools, and it should be based on need and ability and desire to go on to higher education. We also specify that the recipient be determined by the Scholarship Association at Northern Burlington. I have nothing to do with it. So with great pride and pleasure, I present this scholarship to Decker Marner.
Our next presenter is Mr. Bill Ryan, presenting the Northern Burlington Regional Chamber of Commerce for Art.
Thank you. Northern Burlington Regional Chamber, same name as the school, and Northern Burlington High School is a member of our chamber, of which we have over 200 members. Our first award goes to, for art, Alina Harris. It's a $1,000 scholarship. Now I just want to say that the members work hard in getting to scholarship money, and the way we do it is we have a hidden treasures calendar. And artists from all over draw buildings and historical places in this area. And then next year, you'll be on the back of the calendar as one of the scholarship recipients. Our next award, $1,000 scholarship for business, goes to Madison Kaminsky. We raise money for the business awards through, I don't know if anybody's been to the street fair this year, that's for business awards. And we have a holiday dance every year, and that raises money. We do it along with the Rotary, and that raises money for the scholarships for business.
Our next presenter is Ms. Karen Garfield for the Patricia Wendler Scholarship.
My name is Karen Garfield, and I am Patricia Wendler's youngest daughter. My mother was a teacher at Springfield Township Elementary for almost all of her 25-year teaching career. She was truly a gifted educator who loved seeing her students learn and grow. Some of you may have had her as a teacher, and she would have been so proud of what you all had accomplished and excited for the next chapter of your lives. The Patricia Wendler Scholarship is awarded to a student going into the field of teaching. I'm honored to present this year's award to Charles Hermanson.
Captain Sean P. Hoggs will be presenting the USAF Outstanding Math and Science Award.
Good evening. Actually, I'm presenting this award on behalf of Staff Sergeant Matt Wilsberg. He couldn't be here this evening. He's a part of the Air Force Recruiting Services. So he asked me to step in for him, but the recipient of the Math and Science Award goes to Vedat Hopti.
The next presenter is Mr. Jeff Burns for the CrossFix Community Association Citizenship Award.
The CrossFix Community Association every year has an essay contest with a $500 prize, and it's based on citizenship and on community service. This year's award goes to a young lady who started her community service in 7th grade, working as a junior counselor at the elementary school. She continued during the summers working at the Bordentown Library, volunteering at Robert Wood Johnson Hamilton Hospital during summer vacation and during the school year, volunteering at the Lakeview Child Care Center in the summertime, working with the young children, working during the school year as a patient and family navigator at the hospital, and finally as a volunteer at the Burlington County Teen Line, which she described as a safe place where teens can talk to each other if they're having difficulty dealing with life problems. It was a tough decision based on all of the applicants we had, but this young lady really stood out. I'd like to ask Ms. Ashna Gupta to come up, please. Volunteering.
Our next presenter is Mr. Dave Potts, presenting the Crafts of New Jersey Dominic Michelisi Family Scholarship.
In 1980, the group Crafts of New Jersey was incorporated as a nonprofit organization for the purpose of encouraging interest in early trades and industries and fostering the identification, study, preservation, and exhibition of tools and implements. Crafts membership has grown to over 500, including many of the most knowledgeable individuals in the tool fraternity. The club has expanded far beyond the original borders and now includes members from more than 2/3 of the United States, Canada, Great Britain, Europe, and as far away as Australia. An endowment honoring the work of Crafts member Dominic Michelisi has been established to provide an award to a New Jersey graduating senior that has exhibited the traits and qualities that Crafts of New Jersey embraces. The monies awarded tonight are provided for the graduate to use solely for the making purchases that will continue their work and research as technical creators and creative makers. Our hope is that you will use these funds to help fill your toolbox as you venture forward in life. This year's $500 scholarship from the Dominic Michelisi Foundation is shared by Sean Cruzen and Elena Harris. In addition to the $500 each, or $250 each receives, they will also receive 1 year's membership in the Crafts of New Jersey organization and copies of the newsletter, The Toolshed.
Ms. Ellen Benowitz will be presenting the Bordentown Rotary Scholarship.
Usually Brian Flynn does this at Northern Burlington, but he was unable to be there this year. And when he asked me if I would be willing to come to Northern, I jumped at the chance. See, my relationship with Northern goes back a lot of years. I did my student teaching here in 1967. And some of you that may be around a while, I made it under Rosemary Monahan. No jokes on that one. She was tough, but she taught me a lot. After 45 years of teaching, and during that time I also had the opportunity of working with Future Business Leaders of America for 18 years and with DECA. And through that I met a lot of students at Northern. We had a lot of national officers, state officers. You can see you're saying yes. And I really got to know the young people and respect them for their academic ability as well as their leadership. When I retired 5 years ago after 45 years in education, I wanted to do something. I wanted to give back and continue to work with young people. So I joined Rotary because that gave me an opportunity to work with Interact. And it is through Interact that I met the two young ladies that are going to win our scholarship this evening. I have two $1,000 scholarships. The first one is going to Marissa Mohina. And Marissa was at the Bordentown Rotary about a month ago and told us about all the wonderful things that the Northern Burlington students did this year. She is being recognized for academic ability, leadership ability, and community service. It's my pleasure to present this to Marissa. And the second $1,000 scholarship, also for leadership, academics, and community service, goes to, the same amount of monies, goes to Madison Kaminsky. Both of these young ladies have worked very diligently to help Bordentown Rotary with many of our community service events.
Our next presenter is Ms. Missy Rodriguez, who will be presenting the New Jersey Sharing Network Scholarship.
Hi everyone, my name is Missy Rodriguez and I founded the Missy's Miracle Scholarship Fund 3 years ago in honor of the 30th anniversary of my own liver transplant. I kept my transplant a secret for 30 years because in the early 80s, when I had that transplant, I didn't want to be different. It was only after becoming a high school guidance counselor, a mother of three boys, that I decided to share my story, and that's what brings me here tonight. Tonight I'm here to honor Paige LeBlanc. From the moment I met Paige over a year ago, I knew this young woman was a mover and a shaker. In fact, despite the 2.5 hours it took me to get here tonight, I actually urged my committee last year to open up my scholarship to applicants in all areas of New Jersey, not just northern New Jersey, secretly knowing over a year ago that Paige was going to be a standout in the applications.
Paige had the poise to introduce herself to me at a New Jersey Sharing Network 5K with over 10,000 people in attendance. Paige's commitment to raising awareness about organ donation in memory of her cousin Sarah, who is an organ donor, and her other cousin Zach, who has had 3 liver transplants, is truly inspirational. Through her work on her Girl Scout Gold Award, doing podcasts and interviewing almost 30 people affected by transplants, Paige has spent countless hours to this cause so close to her heart. It gives me the utmost pleasure to award a $5,000 scholarship to Paige LeBlanc.
Ms. Judith E. Burr and Ms. Josu Kaufman will be presenting the Impact Charity Services Lockheed Martin Military Dependents Scholarship.
Good evening, everyone. We're so pleased to see our military with a wonderful presence here this evening in many different ways, and we at Impact Charity Services would like to add to that. Part of our mission is to secure scholarships for military dependents for the parent at Joint Base. Thanks to the incredible generosity of one of our donors, Lockheed Martin, we are very pleased to be able to offer a scholarship here at Northern for $5,500. That award goes to Ashlyn Yevchek. And while Ashlyn is making her journey up here again, I have to sneak in this quick comment to all of our seniors and say, in just a very few days, you're going to be graduates and alums, and I want to take my turn in inviting you to that body of alums because I am also a Northern alum, and I can promise you that once a Greyhound, always a Greyhound.
Okay, our next awards, we have 2 for the Mansfield Township Recreation Scholarship, and they go to Patrick Williver and Jenna Marie Vigorito. The John Myers Passion for Math Scholarship is awarded to the Don Docty. Township Historical Society Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Nicholas Torres. And the Alice Bombera Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $413 is also awarded to Nicholas Torres. The Leonard Sexton Memorial VFW and Auxiliary Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Jalissa Luna. Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $2,500 is awarded to Muhammad Khan. Memorial Scholarship for Computers is in the amount of $2,500 is awarded to Alexander Arnell. The Heroes of October 12, 2001 is a scholarship awarded to a student who is the child of a police officer, firefighter, or EMT, or a student directly involved in these types of community service. The fall of 2001 was a very turbulent time in the United States, especially so in central New Jersey. The tragic events of September 11th were fresh on our minds. Just 1 week later, anthrax-laced letters were found in the U.S. postal system, some of which were mailed in nearby Robbinsville, New Jersey. On October 12, 2001, a reserve military policeman from Fort Dix went on a rampage. He shot 2 fellow MPs and sped off in a Department of Defense police car. Once off base, he shot a Chesterfield Township police officer in the back and commanded his patrol car. The crazed man then led local and state police on a high-speed chase down Route 206, ending at Columbus Farmers Market in Springfield Township, where he took a hostage. The MP was surrounded by police, and unfortunately, the hostage broke free, or fortunately. In the ensuing shootout, a Mansfield Township police officer was seriously wounded, and the perpetrator was shot to death. This incident involved emergency personnel from nearly every northern Burlington sending district. We don't have to look far for our heroes. They're right here in our own communities. The Heroes of October 12, 2001 Scholarship is dedicated to those brave police officers, firefighters, and emergency medical technicians who race towards danger when the rest of us would rather run away. This scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is awarded to Nicholas Torres. $1,000 scholarships for the Springfield Township Home and School Association, and one is awarded to Sean Cruzen and one to Christina Trespasses. Auxiliary of Springfield Fire Company Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Sidney Boyle. award in the amount of $500 is awarded to Julissa Luna. The Stuart Davis Music Scholarship in the amount of $250 is awarded to Emily Bartlett. The Irv Pollitt Singing Scholarship in the amount of $250 is awarded to Quentin Barker. The Donna Van Veldhuizen Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Claire Nicosia. The Columbus Home and School Association is awarding two $500 scholarships, one to Marissa Mukena and one to Paige LeBlanc. Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $250 is awarded to Riley Henderson. Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Alexis Suka. The BTSC Scholarship Class of 2018 is awarding four $300 scholarships to Marissa Mohena, Claire Nicosia, Jenna Ricciani, and Taylor Suda.
The Michael D. Burns Memorial Scholarship, Class of 1992, in the amount of $700 is awarded to Brittany Francis. Burlington County Association of School Business Officials Scholarship in the amount of $250 is awarded to Madison Kaminsky. There are 2 scholarships, each in the amount of $500 for Deborah Heart and Lung Center to Anjani Patel and Marissa Mohana. Parker Farms Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Nicholas Alpiza. There are 2 scholarships, each in the amount of $500 for the Chesterfield Elementary PTA, awarded to Zachary Lemunyan and Natalie Tesla. The Chesterfield Ladies Auxiliary Hose Company in the amount of $500 is awarded to Rachel Markley. There are 4 scholarships, each in the amount of $500 from the C.B. Lamb PTO alumni, Madison Comiskey, Sarah Hartway, Leah Hill, and Maria Spano. There are 3 scholarships, each in the amount of $350 for the NB Junior Greyhound Athlete Association Award. William Mesa, who could not be with us tonight, Justin Ruffinek, and Jenna Ricciani. Chesterfield Township Education Association Scholarship in the amount of $1,000 is awarded to Alexander Frick. Rockwell Foundation Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Antonio Concepcion. The Columbus Grange Award Scholarship in the amount of $500 is awarded to Jamie Specca. The Mansfield Township Education Association Scholarship in the amount of $700 is awarded to Carrington Corbin. At this time, to present the Special Recognition Awards, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Amy Stella.
Good evening. As we recognize our students tonight for their grades and accomplishments relative to district standards, we also have an opportunity to acknowledge their significant accomplishments relative to national standards. I am proud to honor 3 students for perfect scores on SAT subject tests. SAT subject tests are the only national admission test where students choose the test that best showcases their strengths and interests. There are 20 subject tests in 5 general subject areas of English, history, language, mathematics, and science. Each test, an hour long, all multiple choice, scored on a 200 to 800 scale, testing knowledge of subjects on a high school level. Some colleges grant an exception or credit for a freshman course requirement if a student does particularly well on an SAT subject test. Congratulations to Vedant Dapti, perfect on chemistry, physics, math level 2, and US history. Congratulations to Stephanie Garcia, perfect SAT Spanish. And congratulations to Noah Creever, perfect SAT Chemistry and Physics.
At this time, Senora McWilliams will be presenting the SACASH Scholarship Awards as well as the NBCRTA Scholarship Awards.
The SACASH scholarship was created several years ago by a group of Northern Burlington teachers when we lost a much loved and respected colleague, Joseph SACASH. Today, the faculty, administration, and staff continue to contribute to the SACASH Scholarship Fund to memorialize all of Northern Burlington teachers who have passed away. Students do not apply for this scholarship. The faculty, administration, and staff nominates them. These nominations are based on the student's work ethic, attendance record, record of achievement, and potential for growth. This year, we are awarding 4 $1,000 scholarships to the class of 2018. The recipients are Riley Henderson, Connor Hogan, Claire Nicosia, Arif Razak, Okay. The Northern Burlington County Regional Teacher Association Scholarship Fund helps seniors pursue a career in education. The application process requires seniors to write an essay about the things and people who inspire them to embark on their endeavor to share in our fulfilling vocation and to share with us their most inspiring stories as students here at Northern Burlington. This year, we are able to award 5 senior scholarships of $700 each. On behalf of the Northern Burlington County Regional Teachers Association, we wish all of you the very best of luck in your studies. This year's recipients are Emily Barlett, Lynette Dodson, Delaney Jones, Kayla Punto, Amy Stecker. The next presenter will be Ms. Harrington Gee.
Good evening. I'll be presenting the National Honor Society Service Award in the amount of $300. The NHS Service Award is presented to Celeste Offhouse. Celeste has attended every meeting, every fundraiser, helped clean up, helped set up, helped run the first paint night at Northern in room 207, helped with secretary duties, and has put countless hours earning 185 points in the National Art Honor Society. I was so thankful to have you this year. Congratulations. And the next presenter is Mrs. Christy Del Russo, the NBC Student Council Service Award.
Hello. Student Council would like to present 5 scholarships and 1 special Student Council Award. So I'm going to call up the 5 recipients, and then I'll give a speech for the Student Council medal. So the 5 recipients of our scholarship are Miss Michaela Roche, Miss Emily DeBeck, Miss Brianna England, and Miss Delaney Jones. Before I give out the scholarships, I just want to talk about our Student Council Leadership Award. Student Council members are the leaders of our school. As you can see, these ladies have been They are involved in student council because they want to interact with all their peers, no matter what grade. As freshmen, they start this as a learning process. They watch in amazement how homecoming is run and just how to follow orders as to what to do next. They learn about our food and toy drives, and then they participate and attend with our winter and spring conferences. As recipients, these students grow from sophomore to junior year. They work hard by junior year to become an officer, and at one point they become leaders. By senior year, it is their chance to shine. When I think of my student council leader, I think of Michaela Roche. Michaela took the lead in every aspect of every event that we've run this year, from the food drive to the gift drive to the winter dance, the sweetheart dance, and our senior citizens prom. As new advisors, Ms. Kirshner and I would have not had a smooth year without Michaela. Thank you, Michaela, for your leadership, for everything that you've done, for learning with us, and for continuing to grow with Student Council. Best of luck always, and we are not sure what we would have done without you. Thank you. The next presenter is Mr. Jeff Newman.
First, I'm going to present the Kellyanne Maxwell Award. Kellyanne Maxwell was a student at Northern Burlington who overcame great difficulties to achieve success and to graduate. The award is partially funded by the National Honor Society and partially funded by the Maxwell family. Students who applied had to write an essay about what struggle they have had to overcome, and then the winner was chosen by Mr. and Mrs. Maxwell, the parents of Kellyanne. The award of $500 this year is given to Kylie Lewis. Nobody saw that, it's okay. So I have the privilege and honor of being the advisor of the National Honor Society, and I always hope that, that the students who are graduating from NHS have just a fraction of what I've received from them, and I've learned so much from all the seniors who are graduating this year. Many of you I've taught, many of you of course are in NHS. The next thing we're going to do is present the Leadership Award. The 2018 NHS Leadership Award is presented to Marissa Mohana. So this award is almost becoming a legacy award, as her sister won it just a couple of years ago. But I've been fortunate enough to know Marissa for the past 3 years, as a student, as a member of NHS, and this year as the president of NHS. She's been an absolute blessing the entire time. There's a famous quote by Jim Rohn which states that the supreme quality for leadership is to be strong but not rude, to be kind but not weak, to be bold but not bully, to be thoughtful but not lazy, to be humble but not timid, and to be proud but not arrogant. I feel that all of this greatly describes Marissa. I'm going to miss Marissa's contagious personality and her enormous smile, as you can see. I wish her well as she attends University of Penn next year. Congratulations, Marissa Mahana, this year's recipient of the National Honor Society Leadership Medal. And I'm asking her to stay because also NHS, of course, does many things. Academics is just part of it. We do a great deal of service throughout the year, and the students are required to earn service hours in order to graduate with honors. The person with the most service hours for the year receives a $1,000 award, and that is Marissa Mahana this year. The second and third place winners of the Service Hour Awards get $500 each. That is Osama Khan and Nick Torres. And then the rest of the top 10 of Service Hour winners will receive $200 each. They are Nick Alpiza, Connor Howard, Marissa Flynn, Sean Cruson, Claire Nicosia, Anjali Patel, and Tate Sabo. I also serve as the co-advisor of the Renaissance Club at Northern Burlington, which celebrates all that is great at Northern, which there are so many things. From smart cookies, to barbecues, to discounts at the school store, there's many different things that Renaissance likes to do. And we'd like to give a scholarship to a person who served in Renaissance for all 4 years and helped whenever she could, and this year that is Brianna Mann. Now back to Dr. Lopez.
At this point in the program, we are going to continue with our department awards. And I would like to start off introducing Dr. Robin McLean, who will be reading on behalf of Mrs. Hamilton.
So I tweak a little of Mrs. Hamilton's words and kind of tweak them a little bit as mine, but if I could have Jamie Specka please come. The minute Jamie Specka attended her first middle school FFA meeting as a 7th grader, I knew she was something unique and special. She remarkably never ceases to surprise the entire ag department with her love of agriculture, NB Nation, and Northern FFA. This scholar was Mrs. Hamilton's Floral Design and Advanced Floral Design class student, an advanced plant science class, and she is Mrs. Hamilton's Silk this year in floral design. She was on the first place New Jersey Agricultural Issues team and represented New Jersey at the National FFA Convention in Louisville, Kentucky, and was on the first place New Jersey Parliamentary Procedure team, as well as representing New Jersey at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. She has tried numerous career development events and loves to compete in different contests like the World Food Prize and serving as the Burlington County Farm Fair Queen this past year. Jamie has held many offices in our chapter, but this year is our president. She also set her sights high on becoming a New Jersey State FFA officer and was elected to serve as state vice president at the 89th New Jersey FFA Convention last month. It has been a pleasure watching this young lady with timeless traditions, endless possibilities. We will honestly miss her, but I know she will make us proud at Delaware Valley University, majoring in agricultural education. It is with great pleasure that I present Jamie Specco with the Senior Scholar. And our next presenter is Mr. David Potts.
I'm going to ask two young men to come forward. Tyler Hagar and Sean Cruzen. Both of these young men are receiving an award for our Applied Technology Department, one for the materials side, one for the engineering side. We're going to read Mr. Johnson's words first about Tyler, a story about Tyler. Mr. Johnson states, I've had the pleasure of knowing Tyler Hagar as the recipient of this year's Senior Applied Tech Materials Award. I've known him for the past few years. I've watched him grow into a responsible, hard-working young man. He has many positive influences in his life, and the results of these influences lead to a student who tirelessly works on his own vehicles, works jobs outside of school, and still manages to learn more in class while taking advantage of the school lab resources. My colleagues and I regard Tyler as someone who we can depend on for whatever help we need around the labs. Tyler Hagar, I've appreciated your presence in our labs over the past few years and the help that you have lent. Keep up the great work. I know you're going to succeed. And for Sean, it gives me great pleasure to announce the recipient of Northern Burlington Senior Applied Technology Engineering Award to Mr. Sean C. Cruzen. Sean's senior year has been no different than the prior 3 years at Northern Burlington. He sets his personal goals that are incredibly high, and he works diligently to crush any blockage between himself and success. Many high school students might have picked up a paper route to earn the money to buy their first 3D printer. Sean, on the other hand, opted to build his own. Add up the mechanical structure that he created, the code for the printer and software that he downloaded, rewrote, and edited, the dozens of wiring connections that he soldered and crimped, and you'll quickly see that Sean Cruzen has parlayed this one extended project into an incredible number of skills and experiences that one needs to master as they enter the engineering fields. Perhaps this is where something that mathematician and physicist and raconteur Richard P. Feynman once said can be used as some inspirational words to Sean.
Dr. Feynman said, fall in love with some activity and do it. Nobody ever figures out what life is all about. It doesn't matter. Explore the world. Nearly everything is really interesting if you go into it deeply enough. Work as hard and as much as you want to do the things that you like to do the best. And don't think about what you want to be. Think about what you want to do. Congratulations to Sean Cruzen and to Tyler Hager.
Our next presenter is Ms. Taryn McGee for the Fine Art Award.
The Senior Award for Two-Dimensional Art is presented to Elena Harris. A young woman of uncommon promise. Over the past 2 years, I have had the honor of being her art teacher. I have watched her create an extensive amount of art in that time. She has distinguished herself as a dedicated individual with remarkable talent and work ethic. Elena has a noticeable ability to affect everything that she touches in her life in a positive way. Her artistic style is so unique and original. From the moment I met her, I was a fan. Not only is she an accomplished student earning high grades throughout all her classes, but she is one of my top AP students. Being a member of the National Art Honor Society and National Honor Society, she keeps very busy. This past month, she also received Student of the Month. As an AP Art student, Elena was required to create and complete a coherent body of work. She chose to paint different emotions while focusing on specific, bold, and dramatic color combinations for her concentration, thus resulting in artwork that was original, intelligent, and creative. Her ability to manipulate such mediums as watercolors, sumi ink, charcoal, oil paint has impressed me. She completed and submitted 24 works of art this year for the AP Studio Art exam, which she worked countless hours on, and did not miss one class. She was my first student to click submit a week early ahead of the due date for submission. And that's Elena. If you know her, she's extremely diligent and responsible. Thank you, Elena, for changing how we see art and creating your voice here at Northern. Congratulations on this. And the next presenter is Captain Sean P. Hoggs for the ROTC Award.
I have to admit, I was like, being the new guy, I was like, I don't know the name of the next person after you, but I see it in the book here. Okay. I'm good. All right. My senior award goes to Gabrielle Kenny. It has been a privilege to have this young lady lead the Northern Burlington JROTC program in its inaugural year. I've been so impressed with her selfless effort, and it's really hard to put into context the enormous impact that she has had on not only the program, but me as well. Gab, without the Y, as she's known, has held the top leadership position, squadron commander, since day one, taking a proactive leadership role in our newly minted cadet squadron. Gab's contributions over the year have directly ensured that all the unit's goals and objectives were met in its first year. During my tenure with Cadet Kenny, she has demonstrated a very valuable skill set that would be extremely valuable to any organization, demonstrating great leadership, discipline, and more important, followership. She always takes initiative and is always challenging herself and the people around her. Simply put, Gab is a dedicated individual with everything that she is involved in. She has an unquestionable work ethic and is always striving to better herself. Our unit is better off today due to her phenomenal leadership in this first year. And for that, I humbly say, thank you, Gab. Our next presenter is Lori Nagdoni. Yes.
The 12th grade business award is being awarded to Carissa Flynn. Chris is receiving this award for her outstanding achievement in accounting 2. Throughout the entire year, she has achieved 100% on almost all of her accounting 2 assignments, and her work is always superior. She works until she masters the concept, and she's always ready and willing to help others. This year, as a member of DECA, she qualified for the DECA State Conference and Competition in the area of accounting applications, which is an outstanding accomplishment. She works extremely hard and is very deserving of this award. We are very pleased to present the 2018 Business Department Award to Carissa Flynn. I'm confused. Is it Courtney? No. That's what I thought. It says Courtney. Okay. The next presenter is Jean Gray.
Evening. The first award I will be presenting is the Computer Science Award on behalf of Mr. Carlos Bovell. While at Northern, Dalton Hutchinson has taken Introduction to Programming and Computer Programming and Algorithms. While taking these classes, Dalton has gone from being a mild-mannered underclassman to a capable and accomplished senior. He's proven that he is dedicated to his studies and has developed many leadership qualities. He's even humble enough to realize and admit that there will be limitations to what he will be able to achieve in life. I genuinely commend Dalton for his emotional maturity. It did not take long for Dalton to decide that computer science is what he'd like to study in college. He looks forward to taking more programming classes at the College of New Jersey next year. I've been particularly impressed with Dalton's tenacity, how he refuses to give up, until he's found a working solution that he likes. He's become very good at applying high-level programming schemes to a wide range of applications. Whether it's trying to get an animated sprite of a spinning coin to stop spinning in time, or writing a programmer-defined function to detect on-screen collisions, Dolan has consistently risen to every challenge. Dolan is very excited to learn more beyond Northern. Whether he teaches himself programming or takes official classes, I look forward to contributing in substantial ways to the revolution in technology taking place all around us. Congratulations, Dolan. Next up, I will be reading the Mathematics Award. First of all, congratulations to all the students being recognized tonight for, what is really an accumulation of just years of hard work. It's just so impressive to hear the accomplishments that everyone's got. So, it is an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this. I can tell you, though, it is an absolute horror to have to be one of the people responsible for choosing who gets the math award. We've already heard, about perfect scores, kids coming back from last year bringing, perfect fives on AP exams, and the competition and the competitiveness is really incredible. But this year's winner is Nikki Drawlum. Maintaining a near perfect average in AP Calculus last year as a junior, and then scoring a 5 on the AP exam, Nick returned in his senior year for another year of Calc, as well as AP Stats. In perfect Nick fashion, he continued to maintain this near perfect score, no matter how tough and challenging the content became. More impressive than Nick's outstanding test grades is his presence in class. Nick never shies away from new or difficult topics. Instead, he's constantly analyzing. I feel like anytime I'm at the board, he's always just kind of cynically watching me, making sure that what I'm doing is correct, even though he's not really familiar with the material himself. But it certainly keeps me honest and keeps me on my toes. He's always questioning, always, looking to get a little bit deeper into what we're doing. And, that's what really I find to be special about Nick. Always offering different perspectives, generating quality class discussion, and I really, really, think that he deserves this award. So congratulations, Nick. Next up, our Director of Humanities, Ms. Courtney Keneally.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to present on behalf of Mr. Chorba and the English department tonight. The most difficult thing about teaching Krista Lemon is finding a book she hasn't already read. And so it is with this challenge in mind that I honor her tonight with the Senior Award for English. In my favorite novel, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, Atticus Finch explains to his daughter Scout that you never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. Considering the volume of literature Krista has consumed, it is safe to say that she has done some serious walking around. One of the greatest benefits of experiencing literature is that readers develop empathy and understanding. This is certainly true in the case of Krista. Krista explained to me recently that she couldn't wait for summer vacation so that she could dedicate more time to reading. Now, this might be something a less sincere student would say to her English teacher, covered with a heavy dose of sarcasm, but not Krista. In fact, her plan is for a book a day. And I'm not sure that this is possible, but I will never underestimate Krista because I've seen her accomplish so much this year. I think what I enjoy most about Krista as a student, other than her unflappable optimism and love for reading, is her quirky, sometimes twisted, original fiction. She's a very talented writer. Her work this year in AP English was truly college level, especially an analytical paper she put together on the poet T.S. Eliot. No easy task. I know Krista will find considerable success in her future endeavors. Though she has plans to study classical languages, she is also considering some sort of pre-law curriculum so that she can advocate for those suffering from poverty and persecution in the Philippines. That is Krista, intelligence, talent, and great empathy for others. Congratulations, Krista, and best of luck. Since Krista is not here, I'd like to introduce the Director of Instruction for Health and PE, Mr. Brandon Bennett.
Good evening. When choosing a student to be the recipient of this award, the Health and Physical Education Department looks for a student who exhibits hard work, leadership, and a positive attitude. This student has consistently demonstrated good sportsmanship while maintaining a strong competitive nature in all his class activities. Not only does the student so always do what is asked of him, but he does so with such an energy level that makes the class to be so exciting to be a part of. This student has put forth a tremendous effort all year, whether in the health classroom or out on the athletic fields, and is truly committed to the excellence in all that he does. He consistently demonstrates a positive attitude within class activities, as well as in his interactions with his peers, as well as his teachers. Through all of this, it is no doubt that the student serves as a positive role model for his peers as well. I know this student will have nothing but success in his future. I am proud to present this year's Health and Physical Education Award to Christopher Radden. The next presenter is Mr. Sean Linder.
This year's recipient of the Instrumental Music Senior Award is Danny Gonzalez. This year's recipient of the Instrumental Music Award has played an integral part of almost every aspect of the instrumental music department at Northern Burlington. During the school day, he was a baritone sax player in the wind ensemble. After school, he was section leader in marching band and a member of the brass band. As a baritone sax player in jazz ensemble, he was a key part of the group making it into the New Jersey Association for Jazz Education state finals, as well as the State Teen Arts Festival. I have known the student for the past 5 years and honestly could not think of a more deserving person for this award. He has truly left his mark on the instrumental music department, and he will be missed next year. Our next presenter will be Mr. David Taylor.
wanted to take a quick second. We lost one of our benefactors just recently, Mr. David Rosenthal, who was here for the past 10 years, and we were going to miss him. He gave a lot to our students and to the music scholarships. I just wanted to give him a quick shout out. This year's 12th grade choral award goes to Mr. Quinton Barker. Quinton is not only an amazing actor, but a tremendous singer and performer on any performing venue. His ability to perform under pressure is so rare that it is something that we are never going to forget and may never have again. Quinton is a 4-time member of the All-South Jersey Choir, a 3-time member of the All-State Choir, and was selected in 2017 as a member of the All-Eastern Honors Choir. Every possible event that he could have been in as a performer, he was a part of it. He has been in all 4 spring musicals and fall plays at NBC. Quinton, thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to our performing arts programs. We are going to miss your leadership in the tenor section and your enthusiasm on and off the stage for our programs. Thank you for being such a great student, and we wish you only the best of success in your musical career ahead. Next, we would like to invite Ms. Victoria Paroli.
Guess who got the only 100 on the anatomy test? Guess who got another 100 on an anatomy quiz? The answer for the entire school year has always been Natalie Tesla. Not only is she a perfect anatomy and physiology student, she has also excelled in AP biology and has been an exemplary self for honors biology. Natalie has a drive to succeed, and she also clearly has a very strong interest in biology. It is an absolute joy to be her teacher because she, without fail, expresses genuine curiosity in content, pushes herself to achieve, and does everything with a smile. On multiple occasions, Mrs. Rapazzi and I have fantasized about having a class full of students like Natalie. We imagine each student coming in and starting their warm-up right away, hanging on your every word during lecture as if it's the most interesting thing in the world, even though we're simply classifying tissues or describing the function of cellular components. All these qualities alone make Natalie worthy of receiving this award, but while we're considering other students with similar academic achievements in biology, it's really Natalie's charming, mature, empathetic, genuinely sweet personality with a witty sense of humor that made her stand apart from the rest. I am truly lucky to not only teach Natalie everything she knows about biology, but I also get to see her in many other facets of her incredibly busy life. I have watched her dance, sing, and act her way to becoming a lead in the spring musical, grow into a student mentor and role model as a self to my freshman biology students, and develop horseback riding skills from an adorable short stirrup kid to an impressive 3/6 equitation rider. It has been an incredible journey, and I'm so thrilled to have been given the privilege of being a part of her life, from helping her out of the barn to giving, rather confusing, advice about college. I am so proud not only of the beautiful person she has always been and the amazing success she has become, but also that her interests align so closely with mine. Natalie has been a star in the science classroom since day one. And I just know she's going to be even more outstanding in the rest of her life, whatever it is she finally chooses to do. She is going to be greatly missed next year on the stage, around the barn, and especially in our classrooms. She is a one-of-a-kind student, and all of us in the Life Science Department wish her the very best. Congratulations. like to introduce our next presenter, Mr. Michael Hishak.
Good evening. I would first like to echo the words of Mr. Graff, and just to say that this class is really incredible. It was a very tough decision to award this year's Physical Science Award. I had consulted with my colleagues. We offer 4 AP Physical Science classes here at Northern: AP Chem, AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2, and AP Physics C. And it's always been my personal goal when I majored in physics that I'd work with some students that wanted to kind of follow my footsteps and study physics. And we have several students I know out there that are majoring or minoring in physics at some of the nation's top universities, and I honestly couldn't be more proud of my 11 years as an educator, so thank you for that. So for this year's award, tall glass of chocolate milk. Those are not my words, but rather they are the words of this year's Senior Physical Science Award winner, Vedant Dapti. When asked to write a 5-word college essay that describes himself, he chose that phrase: tall glass of chocolate milk. I chuckled at first, but just like everything else about Vedant, this phrase goes way beyond just an initial appearance. I've had a distinct pleasure of teaching him as a student these past 2 school years in AP Physics 1 and AP Physics 2. Like his biography reads, he is tall in stature, but this also applies to academics as well, as you have seen all night. He is one of the most impressive young minds I've ever had the pleasure to cross paths with. My personal goal as a teacher is to always find the right amount to push and challenge each and every individual student. With someone as talented as Vedant, that was often a difficult challenge. One of the moments I will personally always remember about him is when he thanked me as he handed in one particularly difficult exam. Most of my students were not too thrilled after having their brains melted for 45 minutes, but Vedant appreciated and embraced that particular challenge. He also got an A. That attitude will serve him well in the future. The last word in his epic biography was milk. First of all, a glass of milk is calm, and this certainly fits Vedant. I've never seen him panic or stress, and this stoicness will certainly help him in college. A glass of milk is also consistent. I believe chemists would call it a homogeneous mixture, I think. This description also fits Vedant, as he has always performed exceedingly well these past 2 years in my class. Lastly, just like a nutrient-filled glass of milk, Vedant is a young man full of many talents. I am confident that he can succeed in whatever path he chooses in life. I couldn't be more proud of him, as he plans on taking his talents to Princeton University to study physics. He'll walk the same hall as many Nobel laureates, from Arthur Compton to Richard Feynman to Albert Einstein. I hope that my classes and our conversations have helped provide you with a sufficient initial velocity as you begin your next journey. Congrats on your goal. Mr. Potts. Vedant has won medals, certificates, scholarships, and he is now the owner of a new Princeton Physics t-shirt. And the next presenter is Ms. Christy Del Russo.
Hi, I'm here to represent the Social Studies Department. So the Social Studies Department is honored to present Amna Ahmed with this award. Amna is a young woman who exhibits the qualities most valued by our department. She is inquisitive, passionate, and recognizes that democracy requires not only knowledge, but participation. Amna excels in debate, writing, and synthesizing historical contexts. But more importantly, she is an advocate, a humanitarian, and a budding activist. We want to acknowledge her work in the classroom, but also her initiatives outside by her school responsibilities. Amna will graduate from Northern Burlington with a legacy that includes newly established extracurricular activities, which will enhance the experience of students for decades to follow. Thank you, Amna. Presenter is Ms. Jennifer Hochfeld-Berry.
It is with great delight that I present the Senior Award for Theater to Quentin Barker. It's been such a pleasure to see you grow over the past few years, not only as a performer, but also as a person. You have been so fortunate to get your dream roles you were hoping for in the past 3 musicals. Normally, situations like that breed ego and a performer's heart, but that was never an issue for you. You were always delighted and beyond thankful for each of those opportunities. You brought your characters to life on stage and captivated your audience. Taking on the role of a director in my theater arts class, you took your knowledge and passion for the stage and helped to ignite it within the students that were lucky to be casted in your short plays. Thank you for your tremendous love for theater. It's an inspiration to my students and so much to me. Presenting the next award is James Dow.
This year's Video Production Senior Award goes to Keegan Tyndall. I know it's hard to tell us apart. We have the same haircut. As a Video Production 3 student this year, Keegan has been a tremendous leader both in and out of the classroom. He's one of our go-to producers and one of the most important members of our video department this year. In fact, one of his short films won top film at Hofstra University, Ocean County Library Film Fest, and numerous other awards this year. And he also has a bit of a cult following with our student body as a writer, director, and producer of his own YouTube channel. My colleague and I are extremely proud of his development over the past 3 years, and his sense of humor and dedication will be greatly missed. I'm glad that we helped him find and nurture his passion as a filmmaker, and we look forward to hearing about his future adventures and seeing all of his future films. Tonight, the Oscar goes to Keegan Tyndall.
Good evening, everyone. Oh, I'm not that tall, I realize that. Okay, so better, huh? This is my second time to be here for a senior award night. And it's always my great pleasure to be here to acknowledge the seniors' efforts and to celebrate their achievements together with them. I saw Len Tai, I saw Yifu. I'm calling for your Chinese name just to say hello. Yeah, hey, missing me a little bit, Hope, huh? have Joanne, I have Rena, I have Amy, I have Anhua. Yeah, quite a number, huh? You have to bear with me because tonight I'm going to first present the first recipient on behalf of Madam Hala Kim. She couldn't be here, but I would like to read on behalf of her, and I want to say the recipient goes, the award goes to Amna Ahmed. A lawyer? Yes. A humanitarian? Yes, yes. A human rights activist? 3 yeses. A visionary and an ideologist? Perfectly. A leader? Absolutely. A strong woman with many talents? 5 stars, definitely. This is how I envision the future of Amna Ahmed. I'm so lucky to have met and worked with such an all-in-one woman. Not to mention a bundle of cheerfulness, upbeat, jovial, and funny characters. 4 years in French classes sounds like a long journey, but you made it like a breeze and so pleasant. From the very beginning, since the freshman year, I knew that this student is very unique. It is unbelievable how much we have in common. We think alike, we behave alike, and we read each other's mind. Amna is indeed my duplicate, my mini-me. When she enters my classroom, she either is dragging her feet or jumping like jelly beans. Either way, she quickly ends up cheerful and filling up the classroom with her positive spirit, her enthusiasm, and with her noticeable smile on her face. Amna showed so much respect, perseverance, endurance, and loyalty to the French program. In fact, she was the only student who advanced from level 4 to level 5. She was not worried or concerned much that she would no longer be with any of her classmates from level 4. This is because she always listens to her heart and is only driven by her passions. Never mind the rest. Amna is also our daily class news reporter. If you want to know what's currently going on in the world, just ask her. She has always something interesting to share, whether an incident, a flashing news update, or a new French song. Amna is the creator and inventor. I will never forget the Hijabinator project, a machine that commands, sorts out, and selects for you a unique hijab to make your life much easier. Amna is an active member in the National Honor Society, and as part of this prestigious group, she has been a great asset and takes the role of a big sister to give a hand to others in our community and to fulfill her duties as a tutor of French. She traveled to the middle school to assist students in need, putting the service to others before herself. I have so many stories to tell you and more things to brag about, but unfortunately, I must end this award with these lyrics of the country singer Dirks Bentley. I'm trying. Lyrics that truly shows how I feel about you, Amna. I'd lose my way and I'd lose my mind. If I face 1 year on my own without you, I know I was saved the day that she gave this class heart a home. Dr. Lopez knows how lucky I am. Amna, I wish you the very best luck in your future studies in college, and I want you to know that you will be greatly missed. But each time we will play in the class the song, and we did, we will be thinking of you, and we know that you are doing just fine wherever you are. Thank you for those best 4 years in French classes, and my best of luck to you. Amna. I appreciate your patience, huh? This one, mine, shorter. Year Chinese Language Award goes to Shi Weina, Christina Grace Trespassist. This young lady who received the honor tonight not only brings diligence, motivation, and dedication to the class, but also amazes me with her ready-to-learn attitude. When we work together to get prepared for the AP Chinese, which is introduced by the World Languages as a new class, and we have the pilot here together, it's not easy, but she's always, I'm ready, I know the answer. So I love that in her. She's reliable, helpful, and always cheerful. Christina, beyond your academic performance, I see you as a loving sister, a loyal friend, and a promising musician in your future career. Your strong working ethic towards the Chinese language, as well as your passion for music, makes me feel sure that you will continue to thrive and flourish in the long run. I'm proud of you, Rina. It's my pleasure to introduce Senora Fatima McWilliams to introduce the next recipient.
I had the pleasure of having Juliet Scelsa in my Spanish core class last year. This year. You probably know her as the anchor for Northern News, or as one of the members of our swimming team, or maybe as a tan solo black belt. But I know her as Julieta, an intelligent, responsible, diligent, determined, confident, considerate, and mature young lady that comes to my class every day with a smile on her face and brightens my day. Julieta has a good command of the Spanish language, and she's determined to use it as much as possible. She's always trying to improve her language skills and has been an excellent role model for her classmates. She's patient and helpful. She takes it upon herself to make sure that everyone in the class participates in our classroom discussions. Julieta wants to be a forensic psychologist, and I know that she will be successful in whatever she does. I hope that she continues to study and use Spanish. She has been an absolute pleasure to have in my class. I'm very proud of her, and I will miss her very much next year.
Good evening, everyone. Congrats, seniors. I am the last speech of the night. Okay, so as the athletic director and the ambassador of spirit, we're going to need to do better than that, so I'm going to start again. Good evening, congrats, seniors, and I am the last speech of the night. I know it's getting late. We've missed our latest episode of the Jersey Shore, and all of you HQDs missed the 9 o'clock show, but we must proceed on. I'd like to bring up, on behalf of the Booster Club, some soccer seniors and some baseball seniors. So if I could please have Ethan Shaw, Zach Wiley, Sam Denny, Osama Khan, Noah Graber, Trevor Rossi, John Wainwright. And from our baseball team, Kyle Forsini and Sammy Urban. So just on behalf of the Booster Club, all these guys exhibit a lot of character. The athletic awards tonight will total over $7,000. So congratulations to all of our recipients. A little social experiment as we round the end of the night. Raise your hand out in the crowd if you want to find happiness in life or if you feel like you already are pretty happy. Come on, let's participate. No? Okay. Very good. And that's a real good thing to remember. Now, for everyone out there, raise your hand if you already have plans for some of these guys' rooms when they get out of the house. Awesome. So remember that. Don't be mad because those are the graduation parties that you want to go to because they're going to be a lot of fun. All right, so make sure that you guys remember who that was. I like to try and give a little piece of advice every year to the outgoing seniors. And I usually use the baseball team and the soccer team as my experiment, but make sure like these next couple months, especially this last summer, that you really appreciate and love your parents, especially as you head into this next chapter of your life. You're going to do some amazing things when you guys get to college. And then there's going to be some days where you're going to spend 20 minutes looking for your cell phone and it's going to be in your hand the entire time. So those people, the only people that will love you after those things happen are your parents and your guardians and the people that have been there through the thick and thin. So let's give the parents a round of applause tonight, too. I do have one final award tonight, and it's our male and female athletic scholarship, and it differs every year. Some years it goes to the best overall athlete, some years it just goes to the the kid that's persevered the most or are most courageous. And it's so nice to see some of the stories that the coaches will send to me via email or talk to me about in person. So we try to pick one male and one female. And this year our awards total in $3,000 for a male and female. Our male athlete scholarship could not be here tonight. He's actually at another awards banquet, but I still wanted to take a moment to recognize him. Will Mesa. And I'd like to bring up our female NBC Athletic Scholarship Award recipient, which is Natalie Tesla. So just real quick, I'm not going to get into anything personal, okay? Natalie and I actually shared a moment up in the press box during your sophomore year. She was doing spotting for me during a field hockey game. But see how great my memory is? But there were stories about Natalie that came from her teachers from fall of 2012, okay? And it's amazing that people will remember the experiences as coaches that they've had with kids. So Natalie, I wanted you to know, I want Will to know if anybody can text them later, or whatever you guys do nowadays. But just know that that across 102 levels of sports and almost 200 coaches, that you guys were selected as our NBC Athletic Scholarship Award winners tonight, and that is just very impressive overall. So thank you, Natalie Tesla. One more round of applause. And now for our closing remarks, Dr. Lopez.
They will be quick. Just I wanted to let you know, seniors, if you received a medal tonight, save it because you wear it to graduation. So make sure that you bring it and you wear it that night. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow you will be receiving your caps and gowns and graduation tickets in the 500 building during your lunch periods, okay? So for you guys, caps and gowns, parents, they will be getting their graduation tickets, okay? So don't lose any of that tomorrow during your lunch period. And tomorrow night is your senior carnival from 6 to 8. So it's free for all seniors, so please do come, all right? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your patience. I know it's a long evening, and congratulations, seniors. Drive home safely.